Hey guys, today looks to be a super fun day for shaping and polishing up some good old hematite and jasper. So I found these two specimens on a recent rock hounding adventure of mine, and boy are they beautiful. Oh, I just love these. Look at that nice shiny flash to them. The tough part now is going to be deciding which one to use. Boy, that's always the real challenge. This one's so beautiful, definitely has the right shape I need, but it's got a lot of hematite in it, not too much jasper. If you look real close though, there's a lot of pitting on this jasper in this area. So that makes it a little less desirable to polish up because you're never going to be able to get rid of those pits. And there's a good chance there's going to be even more pits under those pits once you remove the top layers. So we might pass on this one. I've got this specimen here though. Has a good mix of everything on here. A little bit of jasper in there, and it's just a nice mix all around. Until you look at the bottom part, you can kind of see how it curves inward here. That's going to be a tough one. We could dome this top part out, but we might run into some complications we get on the other side here. Let's go with the big one here. I think this guy is going to be the winner. I like this one. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. We'll figure out something. The nice thing about shaping rocks is sometimes you can just go with the flow on this. So this guy here looks to be the winner. So I've got my reservoir completely filled with water here. We definitely want to have a nice flow of water. Don't want to be breathing any rock dust. I've got here my safety goggles. Definitely want safety goggles. There's nothing worse than little rock particles flying around, and you know where they're going to usually wind up. I'm going to set my speed to about 3 to 4 on the dial here. That's a good range for this 80 grit diamond disc that I'm going to be using. We're going to be taking off a lot of meat with it really quick, so we don't need a super fast RPM with it. Yeah, this looks to be definitely a fun rock that we're going to work with here. All right, so let's get this thing fired up. Contact. Get the water flow coming out. Don't need too much crazy water coming out. There we go, some good drips like that. Maybe that's a little too much. Sometimes it's like Goldilocks, finding that right mix of water. All right, and this is where it gets really loud, so we're gonna dive right straight into this. One quick tip, it's not too important on this step, but it does help to keep moving that rock around, less of a chance to develop some flat spots. You can see we're already chopping off some good chunk of meat right here already. This might go pretty quick. It's coming along pretty well. You can see I've got this pitting right here that I'm gonna have to remove. Hopefully it's not too deep. It does look kind of deep, but I think that's just on the initial defects of the raw rock. So we'll keep going. Alright, that is coming along pretty nice, don't you think? We've got this big pitting here. We're probably going to leave that on though, since we're just shaping this. I'm going to do something a little creative with it. Just be a nice piece you'll put on your shelf or something, hopefully by the time it's done. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Let's just see what we can do about getting this down. I want to get this a little bit more cleaned up though here. I'll just kind of rock it on its side, almost like you would for a cab. Something got plugged up. There we go. A little bit right there. So it's got a pretty good shape to it. I think I like that. I flattened it out a little bit on the bottom, so when it's displayed, it's gonna go just like that. And then I've kind of domed it out. This always makes it fun to really knock out all those little speed bumps, but we'll have a good time doing this. I just noticed this little part here I can probably go through. Ooh, I always forget to shut that thing off. There we go. Probably go through this. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit jagged. The next disc though will definitely take that off, so I'm not too concerned right now, but man, this looks really beautiful. You can see how messy working with this Jasper and Hematite is. Boy, it just likes to bleed, but when you clean it off, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh man, this is gonna be a really cool rock, hopefully when it's done. Wow. Let's change out to our 180 grit diamond disc right here to finish off the imperfections. And again, speed setting of about 3 to 4 works really wonderful here. We got some water hopefully coming out. There we go. Yeah, this is looking good. So at this step, it's definitely important to start really moving that rock around, because you don't want to get any of those flat spots on there, unless of course that's something you're going for. But if you're going for something round, really keep that rock moving around as much as you can. It's going to really help in this stage. You kind of want to take your time on this step. This is an important disc that you're at right now before moving on to the fabric discs. The more you spend on this one, the less time you'll be working on the other ones, and it just saves you a lot of headache down the road. Everybody works differently though, and this is something that's really worked well for me. You definitely feel around every once in a while. You can feel that this is already starting to get smoothed off. A lot of those speed bumps are going away. Sometimes you can see a visual though, where there's just a little hair there left. And it doesn't take too much time to get those knocked out. All right, that little tip was being a little bit stubborn there. All right, let's see what we got going on here. That hematite's really popping, isn't it? It's beautiful. Makes it a little bit challenging though, because you can see the Jasper is still really dull, but the hematite's super shined up. So it's given that illusion that it's not all smooth and flat, but it definitely is. It'll start to shine up in the next step. I think that's looking pretty good though. All right, so we're ready to move on to the next step. I'm going to skip those in this video though. I've got a few other videos out that go over each step-by-step instructions on how to get these things nice and polished. I'm going to come back for the final aluminum oxide polishing step and show you guys how I do that. So I'll see you in just a bit. Alright, so we're back for the final step. I've gone through the old red disc. As you can see, I've gone through the blue disc right here. And now we're ready to move on to the aluminum oxide, which is this felt pad right here. Look at this rock. It's really starting to pop though. It just needs that final touch. So let's get that done. We'll take this off and move that into a hopefully safe location. I'll just chuck that right there. That's all nice and good. I've already preloaded some aluminum oxide on here. Basically what I do is I just take a little bit of the powder. I use this squirt bottle, add a little bit of water, and just rub it into the pad. I'm also going to spray a little bit around to make this pad a little bit damp. I don't want it to be soaked though, but I just want it to be a little bit damp. This just helps generate less friction and the rock goes right across. Turn that on. And you don't need a really high RPM. 2, 3 works real wonders here. Just gently, no pressure at all, just let it kind of glide across the felt pad. When you feel it start to stick to the pad, that's always a good sign it's probably done, at least for flat surfaces. This one's really domed out, so we're going to spend a little bit of time on that, but I've got the bottom part that's, you're never going to really see, it's on display, but I want to spend extra attention to the dome part here. Oh, I can start to feeling it gripping, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. This is where all the magic happens, right here. Oh boy, look at that. Wow. That is really nice. Wow. I'm gonna go wipe this down real quick and really reveal what we've got. There's still some residue from the aluminum oxide on it. Oh wow, there we go guys. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the shine on that. Oh man. I just love working with this stuff, even though it's incredibly messy. It just always comes out so beautiful. Let's look at the back side. We got the top, so we can just display it like that. You have like a little stand, you can prop it up. Look at this. This is like its sister rock right here. And this is what it turned into. Isn't that amazing? Oh, these rocks, they can sure be beautiful, can't they? Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed learning how to polish up and shape hematite jasper. Such a beautiful specimen this was. If you really enjoyed this, please be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button and helping this channel grow. Thanks so much for watching guys. Till next time.